There's a lot of people intimidated by the police and stuff.
Yeah.
What do you make of what's going on here in this country with the police?
Well, you guys are catching up with us in the States, so congrats.
Oh, thanks.
Well, I mean, it's not that surprising. It's disturbing, but not that surprising. The repression, the cracking down on free speech. I do hope maybe it will backfire a little bit, because I think there are people who aren't even that interested in this issue who wouldn't otherwise be interested, who are, because of the repression being just so over the top and hypocritical, and the conflation of anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism. But I'm here actually working on a documentary about these guys, because I think that given how much Israel has weaponized and continues to weaponize the Holocaust to justify another genocide, it's really important to have people saying, no, not in our name, and don't use the genocide that we survived and some of our family members didn't survive to justify another genocide. So it's kind of the very question of never again is at stake. When you have a government that's live streaming a genocide and saying it's in our name, it's actually not good for the Jews. Like, that's not a good look.
No.
And so that's, again, it's not my primary motivation, but this is the first time ever when speaking about this issue that I feel like there's any safety issue at stake. Now, safety is almost always hyperbolized, and it's almost always being weaponized by people who are Zionists. But I think the irony is that when Jews like us get called self-loathing or anti-Semitic, the irony is that Israel is the big proponent in some ways of anti-Semitism. Israel supporters are as well. I mean, I don't know how they think it's a good look for the Jews to be seen as uniformly supportive of genocide. And it, ironically, for people who constantly say this is anti-Semitic, that's anti-Semitic, this is an anti-Semitic trope, that's an anti-Semitic trope, to see people basically perpetuating the dual loyalty trope by conflating Jewish identity with Zionism is just an irony. But they need anti-Semitism to justify their existence as a state.
Fascism develops in stages, in increments, and it's very important for us to resist with full force at the early stages, which we are at now. If you look around, there are some states that are further down the line, like Germany, where the police brutality is greater, where you cannot show a Palestinian flag, and the US, where on the campuses the police are provocative and brutal, and we don't want to get there.
Since 10 minutes ago, I'm scared that I might be arrested because I just gave an interview and I was quite strong. But on the other hand, we can't stop because the genocide is not stopping. The wars are not stopping. I mean, every time I look at the news, now Israel bombed Syria and Lebanon, and what happens in the West Bank and Gaza, and every day another 100 people die in Gaza, and another 100. And it is utterly heartbreaking. And I just don't feel that we can stop protesting, trying to prevent this senseless murder, because it's senseless, because Israel is not going to be more secure after that, and Jews in the diaspora are not going to be more secure after that. In fact, every time another 100 Palestinian children are murdered, anti-Semitism grows everywhere. So we just need to do whatever we can to educate people that, look, there is a cause, there is a reason, there is a result, and stop being brainwashed by those who make a lot of profit out of wars. Because at the end of the day, I think that's what it is about. Lots of profit for some people, and others are dying.
There's a sign someone's hung up on this lamppost here that is causing a lot of controversy. I'm sure if anyone from the Mail on Sunday sees that, then we'll all be in trouble. You've seen the police pass that sign and they haven't said anything.
Here they are. You see
what?
the policeman is looking at it.
Yeah.
Doesn't say anything. Does it?
No, they look totally disinterested.
No, he's looking at it. Look at him, he's looking at the sign. He don't read English. Yeah, I'm wearing an offensive t-shirt.
Bombing kids is not self-defense. I don't know what that alludes to.
Well, I don't know as well, but some people find it offensive.
I don't know what that's about.
I have no idea as well, but some people find it offensive.
Have you seen the genocide anywhere around the world recently?
Recently?
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to say that.
Okay. Well, I'm just.
I mean, there are things that people might say that it's a genocide, but if you say that it's a genocide, they will accuse you of being.
Yeah, I know. But,
so
you can't. I mean, you can't verify it because you can't say it. So,
I mean, there is a saying in England that if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, probably it's a duck. I guess that doesn't work for genocide, but.
Yeah, but some things aren't ducks that look like walk and quack like ducks. Some of them aren't ducks. Have you ever heard that one? There are some things that chickens look a bit like ducks sometimes, don't they?
I mean, who am I to judge, you know? We're just ordinary people.
Yeah. So you're not deterred by the police? I mean, when are you going to stop? When are they going to stop you coming out on these things? Come on.
They never will. We know it's getting worse, it's coming, isn't it? You know, arresting people for having flags, or you can't even say you support Palestine action. Ridiculous, while the real bloody terrorists killing kids and starving kids.
Yeah, and they're doing it right now. I mean, that's the thing I hate, is the idea that every day I'm just walking around thinking about my day today, and there's people who's being blown to bits. You see the pictures of people starved, children who they don't even look like human beings when they're that starved, do they? I mean, this isn't being shown on the TV at all, nothing at all about it.
No, they don't show you that on the TV. They don't show you any resistance on the TV. How many people are here? We've been marching now for a couple of hours. That's probably not going to be on the TV. We were in Egypt getting through all that. People from the four corners of the earth, weren't they? Australia, Poland, Canada, Nicaragua, Mexico, everywhere. And I thought it was all going to be on when we got back, and people went, nothing. Nothing was on to show that we're standing up against the genocide and we're prepared to put up with the violence that we put up with in Egypt, and they won't televise it.
We got someone here with a sign. It says Israeli terrorism has now put us all at risk. Are you worried that you might get arrested for that sign? Have you checked it with a lawyer?
I haven't checked the wording yet with the Israeli embassy, but I'll have to do that. I think the last one I had was comparing Hamas to Israel, but then I was sort of told you shouldn't have the word Hamas on your placard. So this is a kind of a slightly watered down version, but equally as powerful, I think.
So they're killing 28 children a day. It's like a classroom of kids a day. And this wanker here, Keir Starmer, he doesn't lift one little finger. The other day when there was a bus crash and one child died, he said no one can take, how can the loss of a child, yet 28 children are dying every single day for 2 years. 2 years, he's part of that. He's been supporting with F-35s, he's been supporting with planes coming out of Cyprus, he's been giving them political cover. He says fuck all. He's a genocide enabler. It's a shame on this country. I can't even, when you think of Hiroshima, Dresden, Gaza's it's worse than all of that. It's in rubble. It's 2025. It's 2025. And everyone's watching it on a live stream. And no one can do anything about it. It almost seems like everyone's powerless to intercede. We've got the giant orange balloon coming over to visit the fucking sausage finger king of England. And then Keir Starmer's in power. He's Labour. It's like a fucking socialist workers' party. It's a joke.
I suppose today I could speak to you of my deep shame at our so-called Labour government's complicity and sanction of endless war crimes being enacted in our name in Gaza for the last 20 months. I could talk to you about my rage at legacy media's reductive and more often absent reporting of any of Israel's war crimes. the constant gaslighting from the BBC, their refusal to air not one but 2 films documenting Israel's genocidal acts, the endless whataboutery and the dehumanization of Palestinians as terrorists and collateral damage. I could tell you of the countless nights I've lain awake. Thank you.
A few days ago, I got a message that I never wanted to receive. A member of my own family was killed and shot while waiting in line at the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. He wasn't holding a weapon. He wasn't on the front lines. He was simply trying to feed his family and his children. That's the kind of deaths that we're seeing now. Not from bombs, not on the front lines, but in queues for bread and water. This is not an isolated event. Just weeks ago, Israeli forces opened fire on civilians waiting for flour, and still world leaders hesitate to speak. Let me be clear, starving people and shooting at those who wait for line for food, it's not defense, it's cruelty. In Gaza today, starvation is being used as a weapon. Children cry, not because they are scared, but because their stomachs are empty. Mothers boil leaves just to convince the children that they are cooking something. Families are grinding animal feed and mixing it with polluted water and calling it dinner. This is not a tragedy. This is Israeli policy.
Today, Gaza has become the hungriest place on earth. Every inch of Gaza is starving to death right now. Every family is hungry. Every child is at risk. This is deliberate, man-made and systematic. Israel is using starvation as a weapon, one of the vilest forms of genocide. At least 69 children have already starved to death. Israeli forces are blocking aid, shooting at starving civilians and turning Gaza into a graveyard. Shame! I speak to friends in Gaza whose dreams have been reduced to a piece of bread. They don't talk about politics, they talk about bread, about how the last sack of flour ran out 5 days ago, about how children are hallucinating from hunger, about how their neighbour's baby girl died because there was no milk, about streets full of people stumbling, weak, dizzy, starving, bodies giving up, collapsing, and how in Gaza, dying slowly from hunger has become the lucky outcome because the other is being torn apart by a bomb. They tell me this while the world watches, calculates, debates, excuses, ignores, and they ask us, why aren't they doing anything? Why are they letting us starve like this? Don't they see us? Don't they hear us? And I have no good answer, because the truth is, they do see, they do hear. They just chose complicity. They chose arms deals over our lives. They chose to let us die slowly. They decided we Palestinians weren't worth saving, but we are. And I have no good answer, only a promise, that we will carry their names, that we will speak their pain into every room of power, that we will not forgive the world for rendering our bodies unworthy of life.
Our love for the Palestinian people is equalled only by our contempt for the British government and its complicity in the genocide. A river of Palestinian blood runs along that street there to the door of number 10 Downing Street, and we are never going to forget it. We have ministers like Lisa Nandy who can spend all their time trying to reorganise the running order at Glastonbury, to comment on what hip-hop rappers say, and yet they welcome Israeli diplomats, they welcome Israeli generals, they arm Israel, they diplomatically support Israel, they allow RAF bases to be used to support Israel, they bomb Yemen to make it easier for Israel to bomb Gaza. They are up to their necks in this genocide. We shall never, we must never forgive or forget. And just as our movement against the Iraq war helped to break Tony Blair, so this movement will break Keir Starmer and his rotten government. And that is why, like every government that wages war abroad, they are waging war at home, and we must defend our right to protest, because without defending that right, we cannot give aid and support and solidarity to the Palestinian people. 4 of the organisers of these demonstrations are facing charges. Direct action groups are being prescribed. All across the country, activists are being arrested and harassed. We must say absolutely clearly, spraying red paint is not terrorism. Spilling the blood of thousands of Palestinian children is terrorism.
We have stood by with the Palestinian people, and we will always stand by with the Palestinian people. Those in government, those in the media, those in law that did nothing when they could have done and should have done, they are the ones that history will condemn. They are the ones that will be seen have been marching on the side of the oppressor, not the oppressed.
I think they want us to be scared, but because we come in mass movements, we come in mass numbers, respectfully we're not, you know. We stand as one and we move together as one, so no, it does not scare me.
Now we just got to keep doing these marches, keep getting the speech out there, and let these MPs, let these policemen know what's wrong and what's right, because they clearly don't know.
The recent prescription of Palestine action is outrageous. I disagree with it. I'm allowed to disagree with it as per the law. What we're not allowed is to show support or encourage support for, but I completely disagree with it. It's draconian, it's an intimidation. It is to silence the voices that are opposing genocide. And when you use law to suppress humanity, it's nothing short of evil. And we're already seeing how this is transcending into major suppression, because I don't know if you've seen the video recently of a woman who had a Palestine flag and just a banner that said, "Free Palestine, save Gaza," and the police were questioning her whether she's supporting Palestine action because it's a Palestinian flag. And you know, they were almost wanting to arrest her for that. So that's what we mean when we say, when they take away rights like that they have no right to take, that it affects us all, and it affects us in a major way, because when Brits want to protest something that has nothing to do with Palestine, when you want to come and protest about the living crisis, your NHS, your children, you know, our kids, our quality of life, those laws are going to apply to you as well. So I completely disagree with it. I think the movement is trying to do quite a lot in terms of standing up for it. We've got pensioners, we have priests, elderly, cute priests who are being arrested for a sign, for God's sake. But I don't think that enough is being done by the general public outside of this, because it seems so scary. People don't even want to say the words Palestine action. And I think that's where we need education, and we need some courage, and we need people who have the experience and those guts. And I think those people are the people who should be platformed on stages like the PSC. I don't think certain organisations are doing enough. I think that when you tell people to not talk about it because it's now prescribed, it instills fear, and what we need to be doing is actually instilling and nurturing courage and resistance to this oppression, because that's how we will get justice.
Goodyear, Officer Goodyear! Officer Goodyear! Goodyear! Officer Goodyear!
We don't even, so we're not going to be allowed to do action ever again.